Hello, and welcome to the most ADHD things of May, which we are recording a week late because it's been a hell of a week. But because it's been a hell of a week, it's time to have a bit of a giggle. I'm joined by my glamorous assistant, the wonderful Big, my husband.
Hello.
Hello. I just want to thank everybody for their entries over May. I've got some absolute corkers for you. If this is the first time you're listening to this podcast, the most ADHD thing is a segment invented to eradicate the shame and break the stigma of the symptoms that so many of us experience in different forms. We're obviously all different, but the one thing that we share in common, however ADHD presents in us each individually, is that these symptoms can trip us up and lead us into ridiculous situations. So we share our most ADHD thing to unite us. Each week on socials, I put out a post on a Saturday asking what the most ADHD thing you've done this week is. As well as that shame eradication, it lets us all know that we are in this together, enabling people to chat to their peers, that invaluable peer support in the comments section. I love it because quite a few times I've had people say, I was just about to kick off at myself, tell myself off for something ridiculous I'd done. And I thought to myself, actually, this is my most ADHD thing of the week. So I'm going to go and put it in the comments on ADHD AF podcast. So I love that.
There you go. It works.
It does work. It does work. There is no shame here. As I've already mentioned, ADHD presents differently in every single individual. And so if none of these things sound like something that you would do or anything that you relate to, that doesn't mean you don't have ADHD. And anybody who doesn't know why these things are the most ADHD thing, they're the most ADHD thing to that person. We are all individuals. As ever, I'm not a doctor, therapist, or coach. I'm not trained or even emotionally equipped to offer advice or support. But I am a late discovered ADHDer that's been sharing this very confusing roller coaster and safari these last 2 years. And I'm really grateful to you all for joining me on it. So without further ado, the big man, would you like to start? Oh, and Big is called Big because he's 6'8". Right. Do you want to start, my darling?
Mum and daughter's best friends decided I was going to build my own decking and pergola/pergoda. Can't work out which it is, so I'm making it up. Have I any DIY skills? No. Do I have any tools? I have a trowel and a drill. Have I spent hours in YouTube/TikTok Googling how to do it when I should have been doing work? Yes, that's a thumbs up. Did I then, as I was falling asleep, think, if I can do that, I can make pallet furniture too, and then start all over again with the Googling at 1 a.m. 6 pallets are down, some random post-creep put in places, then it rained. Oh, and 2 speeding fines and a parking ticket, which I forgot to pay for, so I'm therefore up there with the best, I would say. Blimey,
absolutely, well done.
Amazing.
Thank you for sharing. Sorry, I meant to say these are the Instagram ones. So we're going to start with Instagram. We've got a couple of Facebook ones, and then we'll go on to the Discord, Planet ADHD peer support community. Those will remain anonymous. The rest you get a little shout out because it's public. So this is from Could It Be ADHD _ the podcast. So today I was making beans on toast. I emptied half a tin of beans into a saucepan and put the rest in a tub in the fridge. I turned around and got my toast, went back to the fridge to get the butter, saw the beans in the tub and thought, damn it, I should have opened a new tin. There are already some open in the fridge. Super annoyed at myself, went to butter my toast, and then I realised that actually those were the beans I had just put in the fridge.
Heather's Chronicles, my washing has been in the machine for 4 days. Wow, that's...
highly relatable.
That's
if your
very
washing is
relatable.
in the machine right now, this is your reminder to either take it out or give it another spin. No shame here. Neurodivey. On Friday, I picked my daughter up from school. She finishes early on Fridays. Halfway home, she tells me she had forgotten one of her bags. So we went back for it. Then in a panic, we ran to my son's school bus stop. We always go there straight after the school run. It was uphill on a hot day. I could hardly breathe. Stood there for 30 minutes, desperate for a drink, blazing sun, before I realised I was there an hour too early. It's not always lateness.
No. Rebecca Chapman, 1992, went for an hour-long walk around a nature reserve instead of chores.
But you know what?
I mean...
Self-care is a job. It's a chore. That's a life chore as well. That's still life, Min, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. Filling your cup so you can do those chores.
Yeah.
We salute you, Rebecca. So mellow _ wrote things I had to do only to forget about them.
Yes, that's the point of list, isn't it?
Oh, well, absolutely. I've just been through the notes on my phone and there are multiple lists on the same pages. None of them are coherent and most of them are long forgotten.
Yeah,
so you are not alone.
The only list that really gets done is a shopping list generally, isn't it?
If you remember you've written it.
If you remember you've written it,
Yeah.
Tegan.ForsterX. My friend was picking me up to take me to our art exhibition, and I was really prepared and had myself ready an hour before. When he got to mine, I started walking to his car until I realised I'd never put my shoes on. I still had my slippers on. If I didn't realise, I would have gone to my art exhibition in my slippers.
Cappuccino Queen popped up to Aldi for a few things, came back home and faffed around a bit putting stuff away. I then went to get my phone and couldn't find it. Did the check for all the random places I might have put it down, then looked in the car and then became convinced I'd lost it in Aldi. So back I went. They were closed but still inside. So I'm knocking on the window trying to gesture that I've lost my phone. The boss saw me but didn't understand and basically wouldn't let me in. So I go home again. I had a sudden thought to check the home office and it was there on the desk. The thing is, I couldn't remember going in there at all. I couldn't even remember if I'd taken it with me in the first place. One thing I know is that I'm glad the manager wouldn't let me in to search the shop that it wasn't in.
Yeah, that would have been
so relatable. Literally, I just have to have my phone in my hand at all times.
Yeah.
Or it's immediately lost.
Yeah. Kira Han left my front door open, went to car, forgot books for work, went back to house and carried books out, left door wide open and went to work as normal, only realised when my housemate told me 2 hours later.
Good to get a breeze in there, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit of air in.
Fresh air circulating. Artist.in.light. I went grocery shopping and left the car key in the ignition. Was looking for it while in the store. Freaked out because I couldn't find it. Was close to a meltdown. Tried to put back the few items I had and dropped a glass bottle.
Oh, no.
I teared up, tried to clean the mess and left the store without any groceries but full of shame. But at least was relieved when I found the keys in my car.
Good.
Silver linings at least, hey lovely?
Indeed.
Silver linings.
Han Lib. Me and my daughter drove 2 hours to Birmingham yesterday, Saturday in brackets, for the Olivia Rodrigo concert. Hotel booked right near the venue. Perfect. Got to the door. Tickets bought months ago at great expense were for the previous night, Friday. Oh, no.
That's really sad.
That's really, yeah.
Did you get to go? Laurel Lennox offered to drive friends for our day out 45 minutes before we were due to go, so another friend could have the option to drink if she felt like it. Realised I didn't know what state the car was in immediately upon them accepting. Cue decluttering and hoovering car with hair still wrapped in towel and having to cut protective off, we have a dog, as got one strap stuck under the seat and couldn't figure out how to fit seat base. Slammed the door shut and finished hoovering and realised keys were still in the footwell, locking them in the car.
Oh, no.
Luckily had left other passenger door open as forgot to close when cleaning that side out. Took the wrong turn off the motorway that added 20 minutes onto our journey when moving from one venue to another. Attempted to drive off while one friend was still getting in the car when I headed home and almost ran her foot over. Had to detour to fuel station when almost home and started with minimal fuel for journey with earlier wrong turn depleting. Snapped at my friends when 3 of them asked me 3 separate questions in a row and was getting out of the car at the fuel station. Oh my goodness, that is a lot.
ADHD, yes, it's me. Left the grill on overnight. Oh, that's frightening.
Tcakes_13 got diagnosed and started my medication.
Hooray,
Congratulations
well
to this new chapter of your life. I hope that titration is going well.
Carla86 Whippet got my diagnosis date. Another good one.
Amazing,
Well done. Happy
amazing.
days.
Maria Stack should be writing an essay. Instead, stayed up for hours last night looking for the Northern Lights, then fell asleep when I finally got around to picking up my laptop. Woke up early to make a start, saw a social media post about a dog barking at a coyote, and immediately got hooked on reading about coyotes. Nothing to do with my essay topic.
Mm-hmm.
Still, if anybody needs to know about coyotes, Maria Stack did your girl.
Issy Amelia, hyperfixated on selling my clothes on Depop from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. So a good 7 hours. Then only realised it had gotten dark when my BF said, "Why are you doing this in the dark?" And about halfway through selling, I ran out of things to sell. So I turned my house upside down to find things to sell. But then realised I lost my debit card and I'm really hoping I didn't put it in a Depop package.
Oh no!
Oh no, imagine that.
Oh gosh, I hope it turned up. Monera _ It's 8:17 a.m. in sunny Perth, and so far I've been on 500 side quests since I woke up at 7 a.m. Got up, wanted to finish my picture wall project, started getting all that out. Stuff was looking dusty, so I went to the laundry to get my duster. The cupboard was so cluttered, tidy but full, I thought, I use these few things quite a bit. For some reason, my drill was already in the laundry. Next minute, I've drilled 5 holes nails in the wall for hooks. I go to my tool shed to get some anchors for the wall. The anchors are too long, so I reach up for the scissors to cut them. Then I notice my stockpile of energy drinks and remembered there's none left in the fridge. So I grabbed a couple of packs and put them in the fridge. I look over to my living room, specifically at my piano. I've been wanting to move it for a while so I can use the space for something else. Walk over to the piano. It looked dusty, so I go to the laundry to grab the duster. See my 1/3 of the way done hook mess. Remember that I only meant to get the duster but not the piano for something else. I just couldn't remember what. Went to the shed to jog my memory, saw a picture hanging kit out on the bench, said, shrugged my shoulders and thought, this probably qualifies for my most ADHD thing post.
Yeah,
it absolutely
it really
does.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the mornings like that when you half do 75,000 things and you end up like, how did I get here?
I'm constantly looking to move pianos in the morning. Samantha.Arcus. I moved into a new house, went to go in the front yard, decided not to lock the house. Thought, nah, I'd better lock the house, and then lock myself outside with the keys inside.
Dr. Rena Mack scheduled a meeting this morning, went off around the farm completely forgetting, now trying to do a Zoom meeting from the fields.
Hannah_Sarah. My partner and I arrived home from doing our weekly shop this morning. We don't have a driveway, so we park on the road. So he passed me the house keys because he had his hands full of shopping bags. As I went to close the boot, my hand, holding the keys, slipped, and with all my strength, I accidentally threw the keys down to the drain below.
No!
We both watched in horror as it happened in slow motion. ADHD tax is real, all right. The keychain was a very fancy, swanky one, and although he insisted that I don't have to, I'm 100% going to replace it for him. Plus the keys he had on it. Luckily, I didn't have to be anywhere, or I would definitely have been late.
Oh, I hate that when the thing happens and you're just watching it happen in slow motion. I'm really, really clumsy. And the amount of times I fall over in slow motion.
I watch.
And like, I'm going to go. And then you're just watching yourself go in slow motion.
I watch things happen in slow motion and try, as you well know, to catch them with my feet.
Oh, yeah.
I've got this, and it's not a considered reaction.
Because you're not even a footballer.
I'm not a footballer at all. I just have two very big feet. And I think, okay. So I think the worst one was a giant length of like wood, which was a joist for a garage. It slipped and fell, and I caught it wearing flip. I mean, this is PPE, safety matters. I should have thought this through, and I hadn't. It was some years ago, and yeah, it really badly bruised my foot. But I think the funniest one was when it was Shrove Tuesday, and I flipped a pancake.
So pancake day, we flipped it.
Yeah, I missed it. I didn't catch it, and so I stuck my giant foot out. There we go, caught it. So I didn't touch the floor, but I then had pancake wrapped around my foot.
Just a giant foot with a massive pancake just splattered on top of it, like, well done.
There we go. Caught it though.
Are we saying at this point that you are self-diagnosed?
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Vic is ADHD AF and self-diagnosis is valid. I completely forgot about the pancake foot thing. I love it.
This is it. You've got to catch stuff on your feet.
KDHD_23 wrote 2014 as the year when signing for a prescription. I love it. I think it's wishful thinking. I wish it was 2014.
Can you imagine? Oh.
Them were the days.
Oh,
Actually, no, they weren't. No, they weren't.
No, they weren't. I'm happier now.
I would like to know I had ADHD in 2014, though.
Yes.
That would have been helpful.
Yeah. Marge_Alan_ bought a Lonely Planet book for Amsterdam in French. No, I'm not French.
Stars, dot, and sunflowers. Lost my shit when people in front of me on the escalator stood still. Oh, that irrational rage. It will get you every time. I remember I used to live in this apartment building, and it had one of those kind of like timer lights.
Yeah.
I remember just used to get so frustrated because you'd hit the button and it would take a little while for the light to come on. And that's when you know that you're premenstrual, because I hit the button, I'm waiting for the timer to go on. Every millisecond feels like a fucking hour of wasting my precious time. And I stamped my foot. Actually stamped my foot.
Don't you know I can't see? Mary_D_Anax murderer. I forgot I had booked annual leave until halfway through my workday yesterday. Oh no!
Zuza Kazka burnt literally every meal I was making this week.
Oh dear.
I'm with you. I made some very interesting couscous this week, didn't I?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I liked it. Foodie for short finally gave my friend a date to hang out. Took me 2 months to do that. She told me I wasn't free that weekend, actually, because I'm going on holiday with her. We're going to hang out, though, so I was sort of right. Well, yeah.
There you go. ADHD Man Diaries. I've painted my shed 3 different colours this week. Finally happy with the last colour. Good stuff.
Good.
Happy for you.
Yeah. CJ Mellon Jimenez.
Easy for you to say. One more time.
CJ Mellon Jimenez. I'm just out here trying to complete as much of my to-do list as possible before losing momentum by going to the bathroom.
Oh, I know that. You've got to hold off. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
I know that one.
I just put it on my to-do list.
Get to it in due course.
Go to the bathroom at some point.
High heels and heavy suitcases are Nicole. Finally sent the fringe, my new bio, and my flyer image. 2+ weeks past the original deadline. Better late than never, hum. So for anybody who is in the area or planning to go to Edinburgh Fringe, you must go and see Nicole's sequel to Why Am I Like This, which was an incredible show that she did last year about her late discovery of ADHD. Incredible. This year she's doing Why Am I Still Like This, and it will be even more incredible. So do get tickets.
Little Joel CFC went into panic mode that I'd left my phone at work or dropped it in on the way to the car, frantically looking around the car for it while sitting in the car on a video call on my phone.
Amy Lou Carley, I'm self-employed. I've avoided work so much this week, it's now looming. I need to do it today, yet I took the teens shopping instead, and now I'm here, still not working. You know why, Amy Lou Carley? Because that deadline wasn't breathing hard enough down your neck. Yeah. I have every faith that you got it done. I hope you did. It is such a frustrating thing to not be able to do the things that you need and indeed want to do. So I very, very much feel your pain, but I hope you got there in the end. Yeah.
Glowing Lemon. Got home from work, sat on the sofa, and here I am. Lunchtime was 2 hours ago, and here I am. Am I watching anything on the TV? No. Am I actually doom scrolling? Don't think so, really. What am I doing? Yeah, I relate to that very deeply.
Yeah, me too. I had it this week with exercise. I've really put off doing the weights. I just find it boring. I know it's good for you. I know it's doing good things, but I find it so dull as opposed to leaping about. And I made myself do it. And the procrastination was real. Yeah. I was literally in my gym gear, sat on the sofa, like, what am I doing? Yeah. Why can I not just do it? It's so ridiculous. Unmasking Mum. Booked a food shop delivery, chucked a load of stuff in so I didn't lose my time slot, and then forgot to amend my Asda order, so I got a load of random stuff and duplicates. Surprise!
Oh. Coffee, yes, and blank stares.
That's our Kimmy.
Oh, yes.
Kimmy from Salford Lads taking photographs.
Yeah,
the legendary community legend.
Yes.
Yes, sorry, go on. Hi, Kimmy.
Hi, Kimmy. Deciding to wear a stupid cape thing to your show last week and almost going arse over tit whilst taking photos of the show because I'm clumsy as fuck.
I didn't notice, but I'm also quite inattentive, but there we go.
I did see you do like 3 forward rolls at some point.
Oh, well, I'm glad you didn't hate yourself. And thank you for coming along and taking pics. TomicaMary.m. Poured the kettle out a bit too fast and burnt my tummy. I was naked.
Oh. Whole_Lotta_Rosamond left my very expensive favourite sunglasses on my bumper when loading my truck and drove off. Forgot to bring an important bag of items for work every day this week. Lost the tracking number for an important package and lots of other things I've now forgotten. Oh no.
Some weeks are just like that.
Yeah.
We're all in it together, my lovely. Norfolk Shine failed to complete all the paperwork necessary for my ADHD assessment because, you know, ADHD.
Yeah.
Like, surely that should be part of the criteria.
Yeah.
Like, are you unable to do this form?
Yeah.
Are you going to miss bits? Can you actually get it done in a timely fashion?
Yeah.
It really is a joke. I've said it many times and I'll refrain from a full rant because this is the happy show.
Yes.
But what I will say is it remains absolutely ludicrous that we should have to fight against the very symptoms for which we need support in order to get the support.
Yeah.
The end. Right. Back to the fun stuff.
There we go. Silly Sue 72 looked all around the house for my socks, then realised they were on my feet.
jm.solutions.va. I had a trade show this week. I emailed the organiser to ask if I had paid for table rentals. She said no. I said, fantastic, I'll bring my own. Later that day, I walked in with all my stuff, forgot the goddamn tables.
Oh, Alison J. Donnelly arrived at the airport an hour before the flight was due to leave, which mostly is okay and the best I can ever do. But big queue at security. Fuck. Get through, grab my stuff, run to a shop to buy headphones as I forgot headphones and no way I can travel without music. Get headphones and run. Big queue at passport control. Eek, cutting it fine now. Finally get to the gate. Not boarding yet, phew. Shit, where's my cabin bag? Oh, God. Then mad panicked run back through the airport to find bags still at security and sprint back to get the gate again, sweaty and exhausted, and the flight is bloody delayed anyway. I'd love to say it's the first time that I've left a bag somewhere in the airport, but I've done this so many times and never, ever learn.
Oh, thank goodness
God.
you got it.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there's two things I want to say about airports. First of all, one of the most relatable things that I've ever said in the history of this podcast is about us feeling guilty and like we're going to get caught out. If I heard a siren as a child, I would think they were coming to arrest me, and about a basquillion people wrote in. So that kind of weird guilty conscience get caught out thing has always made me very anxious going through security.
Yeah.
Don't I? I always get really nervous about it.
Yeah.
As if I'm actually smuggling something.
Yeah.
Like, what have I got in my bag?
Yeah.
Pants.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing. And that has been made all the worse since I now am traveling with ADHD medication.
Yeah.
I've got this real anxiety and I cannot relax until I've got through to departures. But the other thing this has just reminded me of that I have to share is that I was once on my way to an airport on the tube in London. I got distracted. I think I was listening to something, realised it was my stop when the doors had already opened, leapt up, ran off the tube. So I was just started to walk and I noticed that everybody on the tube was staring at me really anxiously.
Yeah.
I looked and suddenly realised I'd left my fucking bag on the tube.
God.
So I managed to just sprint back on it, grab it and get off just in time.
Bloody hell.
I know.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Yeah.
Sorry, went on a tangent there, but
No.
hard relate.
No,
and that's what we do, actually. I'm going to make a little bit of awareness. Now somebody's put 2p in me. Is that sometimes us ADHDers get criticised for talking about ourselves in situations when actually what we're doing is relating. So that story, I was trying to relate to Alison and say, oh my God, I get it, babe, because guess what?
Yeah.
But that could be interpreted as I've just turned Alison's story into about me. But I haven't. I was relating. Hard
relating.
I tell you what, just now because we've got here, my brain's gone on another tangent and it's a nerdy fact. So the Beta Band, which are one of my favourite bands of all time, at one point they were gifted spaceman suits by NASA as part of their tour. They got on the tube and they left their NASA spacesuit on the tube.
Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah. That's quite a lot to leave behind, isn't it?
Yes. Anyway, we digress. Go on.
Olin Kagu missed the train because I was packing too slow, bought a new ticket for the next train, missed the second one after I suddenly realised I forgot to take an article I printed to read on the train, and spent too long trying to find that article. Searched everywhere, cried a bit.
Oh, no.
Later a friend told me it was just there by the window. Was almost late for the third train, had to run with a huge backpack for about 15 minutes in total darkness. No lights and cabs during curfew in Ukraine. Goodness me.
gosh.
Got to the station to find that the train was 1 hour late and finally I had time to read. Oh God, that's
having a mare.
That's having a mare, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Lucy Emmeline says, found £600 in a drawer from 3 years ago that I had completely forgotten about. Probably the only time my ADHD has benefited me. Feels like free money at this point, as I didn't know I even had it. Girl math. Yeah, but Lucy, you're forgetting about that 600 quid you owe me, babe.
That's called an ADHD tax rebate.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Sorry, House of Inca procrastinated for over a week and did a late spring clean of my house as it hadn't been dusted since February. It was like the Addams Family house. Hyper-focus so bad on doing the cleaning all in one go that I really hurt myself physically and ended up in bed for 2 days. Oh my goodness me.
You often hurt yourself when you've done the weeding.
Any kind of thing I do, it's like
it's
physical.
such a...
What's the weeding? It's lifting, like all the slabs I lifted, thinking I could just lift 100 slabs and not feel it the next day. I'm not a labourer. I'm not a landscape gardener. I'm in
Not
no
trained
way
or even emotionally
trained or
equipped.
emotionally equipped. to do these things. You're like, oh, I can do that. And the next 3 days, I'm in agony.
Oh, hope you feel better now.
Yes.
LouiseClark.art. Pack the tent away. Huge 50 kg family tent with my iPad still in one of the internal pockets. It'll probably stay there till we next use it. Yeah, that's where it lives now.
Yeah, that's where it lives now. Yeah. ADHD_women's wellbeing _pod.
Oh, it's Kate Moore Youssef. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate. Driven to my yoga class without my yoga mat.
Oh, bugger. Distinctly_analog. Promised a colleague a lift home and left the office without her. She had to chase me around the building so she could get home.
_love_dies_young.
Oh, that's our Gemma. She's a London photographer.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Try to change gear in my car with my water bottle. That's pretty good.
The magic of early years. Lost my iPad, which was strapped to my shoulder. Looked for it for 20 minutes.
Brilliant. These are some good ones. The iPad ones are good. FRK.PYT. Just always being too optimistic about my time. Yep. Decided to pack for a 3-day vacation in around 1.5 hours, including me getting ready to go. Well, I succeeded, but I don't recommend.
Oh, bless you. No. It's that stress. The mental wealth mentor. It's our Lou. Waited till the night before an event I was speaking at to write what I was going to talk about. Then on the day itself, totally ignored and went off piece.
Great.
Yep.
Jen_lunar spirit wellbeing. Met and held an owl. I'm going to leave it there. No, I'm not. I'm going to carry on. Met and held an owl. Immediately researched how to build an aviary, owl breeders in the UK, and legit believe now I'm going to have a barn owl as part of my family.
Oh, I really love that one.
Yeah.
You'd have to call it Jareth. Please tell me you called it Jareth. High heels and heavy suitcases. Nicole. Booked a flight to Copenhagen. Copenhagen.
Copenhagen.
I apologise.
Is anyone from Copenhagen? Can you say? You call it Copenhagen, or I don't know. I wouldn't know.
I apologise to the people of Copenhagen. For some reason, I cannot engage my brain and my mouth at the same time. We'll start again. Booked a flight to Copenhagen because my friend from the States is there. I fly tonight, but I thought it departed at 9:30 p.m. and the day before realised it departed at 6:30 p.m. But didn't book the afternoon off work, so we'll have to get through the afternoon working on the tram, then in the airport for the last 2 hours of my working day. Oh, and also need to leave the house in 2 hours exactly and haven't packed and still in pyjamas and eating a donut.
Yeah, that sounds like Nicole.
That sounds like Nicole. There you go.
Canny campaigns.
Cat.
Loop earplugs straight into my mug of tea with a very loud power tool started next door. Sorry, Kat, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
What did they pop out?
The noise of it, like a hair stood on end. Her eyes popped out on the stone.
Wow. Because steam's coming out of their ears.
Yeah,
they just went
steam. Whoa, like that. And they went plop into the tea.
I hope they survived, Kat. Anastasia Louise. I was Googling how to troubleshoot my broken heating pad. Turns out I just didn't have it plugged in.
Katie_S1808 drove 17 miles to pick my daughter up from her friend's house, only to discover I'd gone to the wrong friend's house, so I had to drive 17 miles back, and then 10 miles to the right friend's house.
Oh, well, it was one of them.
Never mind.
Jodie Murphy Art. I obsessed for months over the elective modules for uni next semester, then 2 minutes before the deadline to submit my choice, chose something completely random and not directly related to my discipline just because I liked the title.
Brilliant. Demi Giacomo. I'm the chair of my daughter's school PTA. We have an affiliate link with a company that makes name labels for uniform. They sent us 500 flyers that needed to have the affiliate code written on each one. I did the lot in one evening. The tattooed Disney princess put out nuts and fat balls. Sorry.
Juvenile.
Okay. Put out nuts and fat balls. It's in the inflection, isn't it? Put out nuts and fat balls on my bird feeder, and a blue tit landed on it, and I exclaimed, "There's a bird tit on my blue feeder." That's my favourite. It's you.
Oh, is it me? Alexa_Loy. Took my daughter swimming, forgot the towels. She used her hoodie to get dry, and I used my pants. Resourceful.
Yeah.
Always resourceful.
Daniel.mocker missed my stop 3 fucking times. I gave up and took an Uber. The ADHD tax is so real. Yeah, that's...
I feel your pain. I
Yeah.
do that all the time. Life of Zandy left an Amazon parcel on my bed and proceeded to forget and rediscover it 4 times.
I think that's quite a good one, isn't it? Yeah.
Always a nice surprise.
Ooh. Ooh. Lena_prefectionist bought ice cream, brought it home and forgot it right next to the freezer.
No!
Oh.
Now you see me, ADHD. Went to hairdressers this morning to get my roots done. I'm blonde. Impulsively decided on the way there that I fancied a change and that my blonde hair is now boring, so I asked for copper hair. I have now left the salon with bright orange hair and been in tears ever since. Don't know what I was thinking. Oh, lovely. I hope it grew on you. Change is good, hey?
Yes. Akufal 2010 got new suction bath toys for my daughter, stuck one on my head to look like a unicorn, and immediately got a circle-shaped bruise on my forehead.
Tilly Woo 2019 getting called a Karen by 2 teenagers because my high moral ADHD brain couldn't walk past them ripping branches off trees, and I love nature and trees. Good for you, Tilly.
Yeah,
standing up for what you believe in. Do you know what that's just made me think of?
Clean shirt.
Yes! Peep show.
Clean shirt.
Clean shirt.
Oh, clean shirt.
Is that bad?
Yeah, is it bad? Watergan Wildings. I only shaved one leg today.
I normally leave little patches, little inconvenient patches, like, oh, my brain obviously went on a little adventure there at that point. Silly Sue 72 went away for a night, have an ear infection, took paracetamol box out during our car journey, empty blister packs, arrived at destination, went to get ready to go out for tea, forgot to bring trousers, then realised I'd forgotten to pack makeup remover, toothbrush and my HRT. However, I had remembered to pack my lavender pillow spray. Fortunately, only a one-night stay. ADHD assessment end of July, Wonder River Pass.
Holistic wellness psychology left chocolate all over my face after my cappuccino at my son's first school day. And here I was worrying about ensuring he was okay. Little did I know I was a complete hot mess and he was absolutely fine.
Kim Pierpoint, our Kim, washed another tissue. Yep, know that one. Do you know what? Kim and mine's episode is like gone wild. Everybody loves it.
Oh,
People have said it's the best episode to date.
Wow.
And it's got more comments than any on Spotify.
That's crazy.
Go on,
isn't it?
Kim.
Go on, Kim.
What a team.
Emma Twite Davies. Oh, we're not doing names. Yes, we are. Sorry. Emma Twite Davies. I baked a lemon drizzle cake. The recipe included 300 grams of sugar. Obviously, I didn't read the instructions properly and put all 300 grams of sugar in the cake. The instructions actually said to use 200 grams in the cake and keep back 100 for the lemon drizzle. Never mind. Still tasted okay. It's just extra sweet.
Sweet as a nut.
Sweet as a nut.
I want some lemon drizzle cake now. I'm really, really impressionable, aren't I?
What do you want? You want some lemon drizzle?
I don't know what is wrong with me.
It's
I can't
good today,
sing
isn't it?
today.
I'm enjoying
Soph's Whip Pen. I know, Sophie. How are you? I'm pretty sure I am now self-diagnosed after this and other instance. Packed my shopping I was meant to take to my boyfriend's for dinner. Looking forward to chicken burgers. Put on top of the fridge. Shut fridge. Convinced I placed the in bag and walked away after shutting fridge. I'm now at my boyfriend's realising they're on top of the fridge without burgers. Now walking Tesco's to have something else.
Yeah.
Boo! Okay, so these are from the Planet ADHDF peer support community, so they will remain anonymous.
I had a new obsession. Flowers. I spent €600 on installing custom flower window boxes. €500 on flowers, planters, soil, gloves, watering cans, etc. Guess how many days in a row I managed to water them? No days. None. I have yet to water them consistently for more than a day in a row. And now my next stop is not the Chelsea Flower Show, but to my ADHD graveyard.
Oh yeah,
dear.
I don't do
I'm
flowers.
terrible at plants.
Darling, the garden looks gorgeous.
No, the garden's just put loads of compost in, let them do a thing. If you put it in a pot in the house, that thing's going to die.
Yeah, and we just leave it there to die.
Yeah, it's not going to do well.
It's true. Today, went for an early swim. Whilst drying myself, thought, this towel feels soft. Cue an annoyed woman coming out of the pool. I had taken the towel. Then when the woman said, don't forget your keys, last week she returned my keys to me. All of the above before 7 a.m. My RSD is kicking my ass this week and I feel like the biggest failure in the world. And why am I doing an important job? I wish there were ADHD gyms with spare towels and a lovely person who would quietly say, I have your keys, lovely, here they are, and just checking you have your shoes. Both of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's right, though.
Yes. Making mine and my partner's lunches for the next day, thinking I'd been really productive and helpful, only for him to point out an hour later that I hadn't cooked the broccoli that I had put with our chicken and rice.
Crunchy. Al dente.
Al dente.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yesterday I picked up my grandfather to spend the weekend.
Granddaughter.
Sorry. Just picked up the grandfather to spend the weekend with me. Yesterday I picked up my granddaughter to spend the weekend with me. It's a 45-minute drive. On the way I missed the turning off the A30 and ended up driving an extra 15 mins before realising my mistake. I could accept that, but on the way back I also missed the turning and did not realise until I'd driven for an extra 30 minutes and ended up near Exeter. So the trip back ended up taking an hour and 45 minutes.
No!
Yeah.
I was on the rowing machine at the gym and was looking at the timer thinking, I'm so bored and how am I going to reach 5 minutes, but zoned out shortly after that and forgot that I was on the rowing machine, zoned back in just before 5 minutes, score. An ADHD struggle turned into a strength.
I'm always late, but I was 2 hours late for a first date. He got there an hour early, so he was waiting 3 hours in total. Clearly, I was focused on searching for a necklace for way longer than needed, which I never found before the date, only to return home and find it directly in front of me on a table with nothing near it. Felt crazy saying, just kept getting distracted.
Yeah. She said there was a second date.
Oh, that's
Amazing. Amazing. Sold a filing cabinet on Facebook Marketplace last night. Got this message this morning. You left your decree absolute and change of name deed in the cabinet. Do you want me to post them back to you?
Oh my God.
No, it's all right. Just keep them. This, I relate so hard. I can't even tell you. This is the story of my life.
Trying to write a really important email earlier, I used Gmail. I had to keep flicking in and out to look up dates, etc. I thought I was going mad as sentences kept appearing and disappearing. Turns out I had 6 drafts of the email open, so they're all fighting over each other. Once I worked that out, it was so much easier.
Been away for work all week and came home to an ant infestation after leaving some crumbs and a few unwashed bowls behind, and the plants are all half dead as closed all the blinds before I left. Not tended to either, and my suitcase is sitting in the hallway floor, open but completely unpacked. Wages on how long it stays in that state. Well, I'm going to guess until you need it again.
Yeah.
That's how long it takes me to unpack.
Yeah.
Didn't do the washing. I should have done. Probably didn't have any pants for the weekend. Can't bring myself to care. I hear you. I've been struggling with my moods this week and was in a bit of a mental health low yesterday. Sorry to hear. And this morning, I had a new member of staff shadow me at work today, though. After me apologising for being late and my head being a bit all over the place, she said, don't worry, I was diagnosed with ADHD a year ago, so I get it. We then bonded and bounced off each other all day, and she got me out of my funk.
That's good.
Yes. Teamwork.
Really good.
All about that peer support and understanding.
Yeah.
I had art therapy today. I got out of bed 2 hours before I needed to leave, intending to have breakfast and a shower. Sorry, I've just read one. Do you want to read this one?
I was going to let you run.
Come on.
I had an art therapy day today. I got out of bed 2 hours before I needed to leave, intending to have breakfast and a shower. Well, none of that happened as I zoned out for a bit. Next thing I know, I have 5 minutes to get ready and somehow managed to get dressed and out the door on time. During the class, it dawned on me that I had my top on inside out, so proceeded to remove it to put it on the right way, having a joke with the other ladies about needing a carer. Well, it turned out that I had not put on either my bra or t-shirt.
Surprise!
Oh, well.
What the fuck is wrong with me? Well, we know. Since April, I had 3 missed car park charges, 2 train fines, a speeding ticket, and now 2 fines for crossing the Dartford crossing without paying. ADHD tax at its finest.
That bloody Dartford
I know.
crossing. It doesn't tell you. You have to remember you've done it and go back and pay it.
Well, it's just a scam, isn't it? To literally trip people like us
Yeah.
out. I got a new phone but can't remember how to get into half of my apps. So now I am carrying 2 phones around and switching periodically to get into different things. Also, I was carrying a large Instagram-style selfie frame thing last night after an event. I had it looped over my shoulder and got stuck exiting an elevator because I forgot I was wearing it and didn't spin sideways. My work colleagues just about wet her pants before helping me maneuver it out. Well, that's only right, absolutely. But no, the phone thing is hilarious.
Yeah.
And the funny little adjustments that we make for ourselves that don't make sense.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there are so many times where I could get help with something and instead it's just like, I'll just find a completely irrational way around this and just keep doing that as my routine instead.
Yeah. My husband and I were watching an art show in Florence. They mentioned Michelangelo and Donatello sculptures. I looked at my ADHD AF husband and asked, what are you thinking about turtles? I immediately thought of turtles. 10 minutes later, singing, turtles in a half shell. 10 minutes later, shall we get pizza? Yes.
The most relatable post of the day.
Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power.
Tell me, any listener, tell me your brain did not go immediately there.
As soon as you say Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo.
Michelangelo is a party dude. Yeah.
Because Raphael's got an attitude.
Yeah. I try and do something grown up, adulting, and my brain reverts to 11-year-old. Yeah, same.
So I broke down in my car on a 50-mile-per-hour road just around the corner today. I was dead calm throughout the whole thing, even with the risk of cars ploughing into mine. The police came out and I was unflappable. However, you asked me to find some wall plugs I'd put in a safe place. I practically had a meltdown. Yeah, It's that good in a crisis. Yeah. So we are not all good in a crisis, but there are many of us that seem to flap at, in inverted commas, the wrong things. Yes.
Spent ages trying to find a gift for my gran for her birthday and finally got something I was happy with. Went to sit down and tell the person I was in the living room with about how I'd finally managed to find a gift for gran for her birthday and stopped mid-sentence when I remembered the person I was in the living room with. It was indeed my gran.
Had my dentist check up and turns out the wisdom teeth pain I was convinced was due to them needing removed, infected, growing wrong, all the Googling, all the hyperfocus on wisdom teeth issues, is due to jaw clenching and teeth grinding, likely down to stress. Their suggestion, stress management. Yeah,
great one. Great one.
Really important, isn't it? I think sometimes we get in our own heads and we overthink and we Google and we worry.
Well, but it's also the telling somebody not to worry.
Yes.
It's like, have you tried not biting your nails, Laura?
Yeah.
It's like a thing that we just can't help.
Yeah.
So how do you manage the stress?
Yeah.
You know, it's such a funny one. But I hope you found some good solutions, because obviously there are loads out there.
Yeah.
I have a similar problem. I'd not even go there. I'd just be walking into ridicule if I said this.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. I have a problem with lockjaw, and it just told me not to open my mouth so wide. But for anybody who does have teeth grinding issues, there's been a whole little chat on the Facebook community about getting a mouth guard. I get mine at the dentist, but it's actually cheaper getting it privately than via NHS. Chronic teeth grinder since I was a kid, and I've cracked 2 molars because of it. Wow. Oof. So yeah, any teeth grinders, the community speaks. Mouth guard it is. And then this kind of all leads into the same thing, actually. So my ridiculous lockjaw comment is actually valid here. I feel you. I'm hypermobile. Are you? It's a common thing amongst neurodivergent people, apparently. My jaw pops out when I sleep and sometimes locks for a whole day on me. The outcome is I've been told to avoid chewy foods and teeth grinding. Lol. How? Pain relief. Your GP can refer you to physio for your jaw. Having said that, a last resort is some people get Botox. How interesting. Check out the Baton score. It's a checklist for hypermobility. Although many people are hypermobile in different ways, separate from it. It's a starter. So there you go. A tip from the community.
In the last 12 hours, I've nearly been run over, whilst crossing the road listening to the self-care episode of the podcast and not looking where I was going. And then tripped over on the plane steps whilst trying to take a photo of said plane. The coordination is never there.
I am with you. Thank goodness you're all right.
Be careful when crossing the road.
Yes,
please.
Just transferred 650 quid to the wrong account. The business has moved accounts, so I'm hoping that it will bounce back. Hang on a minute. How much did that other girl have? Are they paying each other?
600. That's with interest.
We have got the runner-up.
This is Instagram. Smart Cookie UK is our runner-up with... Picked up the dog's poop. A few minutes later, I absent-mindedly squeezed the bag, which wasn't yet closed, and narrowly avoided a less than fragrant Mr. Whippy type explosion. Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
What a time and place to zone out.
Yeah, just...
We cannot pick these things. Oh, this feels nice in my hand.
Oh,
I'll give it a little
God. Oh, that's maybe a bit gippy, that one.
I know. Okay. But for me... this is the winner. This, I have to say, is right up there in one of my favourites of all time. It is the most ridiculous thing ever. This is from a community member. Sat down on my bed with socks, hand cream, knickers and a panty liner in my hand. Sorry.
Covering all the bases.
Lifted up a foot to put cream on it. Sorry. Right. Lifted up a foot to put cream on it and instead stuck the panty liner down the length of my foot. It's like the logic of an illogical moment. It's like, well, this is the length of this. I must be sticking this to I hope that it kept your foot really fresh, though. I love it.
Yeah, like an emergency shoe.
Oh, I love it. Thank you ever so much. So, what is the most ADHD thing you've done this week?
I did a weird one this week. We had a thing called Safety Day at work where everyone talked about safety, and everyone was all sort of stood around after the kind of event talking about safety. And I'd sort of, I'd put a lot of effort into focusing on the Safety Day stuff, and I was engaged and involved. And as we were chatting around the table, like a stand-up table, people were talking about something, and there was a large bottle of hand sanitizer with like a pump on it. As I finished the thought of, I wonder how far that would shoot across the room if I smashed it, my hand had already smashed it and fired out a really big jet of alcohol hand sanitizer, and just missing two people. It flew in between two people and kind of hit, went all over the carpet and touched someone and went on someone's desk.
Big?
And I went, oh my God. And everyone looked at me and I laughed, thankfully. And I went, I don't know why that happened. I genuinely, it wasn't even like I got an impulse, I'm going to act on it. The impulse happened, and then I thought I'd got an impulse. So I had already impulsed before I thought about it.
It's a bit like me and talking. The words are a surprise to me as well. It's not anything that's planned. That's so funny. It's a bit like it's a bit Fear and Loathing-esque. Like, got to do something about those bats. Did I just say that, or am I just thinking it?
Yeah.
It's that, isn't it? It's like you literally did it as you went.
I wonder how far this would go, and by the time I sort of thought, I wonder, it went across the room in like a laser beam. It was really, because I put a lot of pressure into it. I'm a big lad, and that was mine.
Mine is probably, there's loads. It has been a hell of a week here. Right up there would be that I'm going to see Girls Aloud tomorrow with community legend Romana. It's been planned for a very, very long time. Trying to communicate all week. She's got a lot going on. I've got a lot going on. And there I am, about to book a train for Saturday. Just managed to get hold of Romana before I booked. This is like I'd held fire for a couple of days. Spoke to her and I said, all right then, so hang on a minute. Where am I going? Didn't even know the venue. She said, great. I said, okay, brilliant. So I'll meet you there on Saturday. I'm just booking my train. She went, yes, except it's on Sunday. So thankfully we managed to catch each other, because I would have turned up for Girls Aloud a day early without any tickets, probably at the wrong venue because I hadn't even searched it. And I look around me all the time for the responsible adult, and as you can tell, it's neither of us. I've got a good combined most ADHD thing, actually. I was thinking about this. So our house is on the market at the moment. If you would like a little nosy at our Dopamine Decor, we got featured in an interiors feature in the local paper, in the Press and Journal. I'll put a little link so you can have a little nosy at our handiwork. We spent most of lockdown, I'm saying we here, I'm lying, aren't I? I spent most of lockdown designing what I wanted the interiors to look like. So it took me a really long time to find the right green. I then had to find a matching green wallpaper for the alcoves. So I was being about textured. Like I really geeked out about it. Took a lot of time planning every last inch of it, the rainbow stairs, the everything. As we're showing people around, it suddenly dawns on me, our combined most ADHD thing is that having hyper-focused and planned meticulously and executed every single detail right down to the hooks, everything that we did, you walk up the rainbow staircase, one room that we've done up, and then one last room, which we left completely as it was. Yeah. So we literally did every single room in the house, and then the hyper-focus ran out of steam.
Yeah. That's it. Can't do anymore.
At least they've got a blank canvas,
Got a blank canvas. It's nice and light and airy.
One room that we didn't put our stamp on after all that planning.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very, very exciting times. Lots of people are asking what we're going to do next. And the plan is van life, isn't it?
Yeah, van life.
Van life.
Hit the road for a bit.
I've got a little plan for a little podcasting studio in a van as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all pans out and keep you posted. For now, I just want to say I still haven't found out the handle of the amazing, I think his name is Kieran, I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong, from Bristol, who did the amazing two most ADHD things that were genuinely highlights of this entire couple of years, was the impromptu street theatre when being mugged and nearly letting his house burn down so he wouldn't be impolite and end a work call early. Yeah. So what I've done is I've shared his picture, or a picture including him, as the cover artwork of this episode. So the pictures were taken by the wonderful community legend Claire, who is Summon Fire Photography, such a talented photographer. I'm so lucky to have had so many talented people in the community doing these wonderful things for the events. And Claire is based in Cardiff. We went and did an amazing shoot with Claire, been picking the pictures. She just made me feel so comfortable in myself that, it's just wonderful. So super grateful to Claire. But yeah, that picture is one of the highlights of the tour for me, because there's the wonderful Kieran with his stories, 2 other people that I've had the pleasure of meeting that night. They'd all connected and met each other, which is the purpose, making local community connections. Yeah. And as we're there, we stood there chatting, go to take the photograph. Claire's like, you ready? And the lady in front, forgive me for forgetting your name, says, would you like me to do a split? I'm like, well, obviously, yes, please. So the picture is this woman who just drops down into the splits. Yeah. There's another lady holding my RSD2 kitchen bowl hat. And then there's Kieran and me in the middle, just like, what's happening? It's the best picture ever. So thank you so much, Claire. We had such a wonderful night and you are the best. I can't wait to share the rest of the pictures. And speaking of people whose identity has not yet been confirmed, we still haven't found Colin. No. So I would really like you to help me find Colin. We have, well, I'm not even going to say we, Nicole has named him Colin. We do not know that that is his name. That is a name she has given him. Yeah. But what happened was, in Glasgow, we were walking along the street and Nicole spotted a TARDIS. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I absolutely can't stand Dr. fucking Who Cares. So for a laugh, we ran up to it for me to stick my fingers up at it and shout Dr. Who Cares. And on the way back, we found one of those printed masks of somebody's face. I assume it's from a stag or hen do of a person. We picked him up and we've taken him on the road with us to every single show. I will share a link to this man's face because it would literally make my life, because I have a juvenile sense of humour, if we could find Colin, because I would love to have him at the last show. There are only 2 left. We've got Margate at the one and only Margate Arts Club on Thursday, the 18th of July, followed by Comedia Brighton on Saturday, the 20th of July. And then after that, we're on to Flackstock. And I'm so excited to have our own ADHD AF Emporium tent at Flackstock. So Stephanie will be curating all sorts of festival fashion, whilst I have curated and will be hosting the events of the day. So it is a full day of ADHD AF events, including all sorts of speakers. I'll also be interviewing Tanya Bardsley once again live on stage. If you've not caught that episode yet, have a look back to that because it's got loads of amazing reviews and Tanya is an absolute ledge. I cannot wait to meet her in real life. I'm joined by all sorts of people, but I'll come back to that another time. But if you don't know, Alien Nation has been the tour of which I've done 9 out of 11 shows so far, I think. And it is all about the ways in which ADHD can make us feel alienated. It has been an absolute pleasure to meet so many of you, and they work. And that's the thing that makes me happiest, is those shows work. I've witnessed local connections being made. I've had people collaborate off the back of it. I've had one guy tell me that he didn't even understand RSD until my ridiculous RSD2 sketch. And it raises awareness, it connects local community members, and we have a giggle playing ADHD AF bingo and singing ridiculous Masayoki songs. So I'm super excited to get to Margate Arts Club and Comedia Brighton. I would love to see you there. Tickets via link in the blurb of this episode. And I just have one more thing to say and I'll shut my noise. Okay. Please register to vote. It's really, really important. Yes. We've got an opportunity here, but I'll talk more about that soon. I think the deadline is either the 18th or 19th of June, so it's coming up. Just register. And I know the last thing anybody wants to do is fill in any more forms, but the difference that we could make is that we could change how this system actually works. Yeah. You know, and then there's no more of this ridiculous ableist way of trying to get diagnosed for a disorder. Yeah. Okay? Anyway, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Please show yourself compassion. If you've fucked up this week or today, it is symptomatic of the condition of which we all share. Self-diagnosis is valid. It bloody well has to be, in a system where you could be waiting the best part of a decade for life-changing and possibly even life-saving, as it was in my case, diagnosis and treatment. The imposter syndrome is real, so if you're doubting yourself, you don't then need to feel bad about the fact that you're doubting yourself. Just try and recognise that it's imposter syndrome. Lean into the community. If you can't afford to join the Planet ADHDF peer support community, there are all sorts of Facebook groups. You can chat to people in the comments of my socials, ADHDF podcast. And I hope to see you all in real life and do the most ADHD things in real life and have a seminar with Bingo.
Yep.
Anything to say? Any final parting words?
Always know where your iPad is.
Your iPad's on your arm. Look in the drawer for 600 quid and do not forget to take your washing out of the machine or give it another spin.
Oh, and don't squeeze dog poo bags.
But please do put panty liners on your feet.
Right.
And help me find Colin.
I'm off to pick up my grandfather.
Big love.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye.